Talks with Dorks. May the power protect you.
Let's rock it!
Welcome to Season 3, Episode 37 of Talks with Dorks. And, well, for the first time in a while, it's not just me and Kurt. So that is always a good sign. Kurt, we've got more than just us now. We've got a conversation to have. How good is that?
Honestly, I think if we'd done one more episode with just the two of us, it genuinely would have been 30 minutes of us just sitting there going...
So, though annoyingly, as we've just discovered, you finally started watching it. This happened last time. I'd been waiting for everyone to watch something, that someone finally started watching it, and we had a guest, so we couldn't talk about it. Laferde's here. Welcome back, Laferde. Good to see you.
Hey guys.
You can't see us.
It's a bit tight.
Well, you have literally, been dealing with your sight again. I hope you're okay.
No,
Thank
it
you for
wasn't.
being here.
Not my sight this time. It's my my gallbladder.
How does that happen? Like, it's always something.
I don't know. I just started getting these sharp pains, like I've been stabbed, and then next thing you know, they send me to hospital.
Oh,
Jesus.
I love how he waits to drop that bombshell until after we've started roasting him.
No, I know. Like,
Yeah, no, I wanted the guilt factor.
Well, yeah, fair point. But let's forget about you and your problems.
We're only a minute and a half into this. We're only a minute and a half into this recording. It's too early for me to start swearing at you. That's why he's doing it now. So we
Listen,
can't.
I haven't made any sort of references to certain people, so I'm off to a good start.
Welcome back, Laferde.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Laferde. On that note, let's bring in our guest. He is the one and only, the wrestling geezer himself. To us, I'm just going to call him Dan, because the wrestling geezer will be a mouthful all the way through. But Dan, welcome to the other side of podcasting and joining another podcast. Welcome to Talks with Dorks, mate, and thank you for wearing a very sexy t-shirt.
There you go. See, get yours now, guys. This is prime 100% cotton. Doesn't shrink in the wash. And yeah, value for money, guys.
We don't know. We've not washed ours yet. We've been living in them.
We definitely need the design with all of us on it.
You what say, you, Laferde?
We need a design with all of us on that, not fucking Parky.
Oh my God! How many times do you got to remember? This isn't about us. It's about the wrestlers.
This is twice he said that now.
This is Okay, it's not always about us, and it's
I need it on video. Say it.
right. Okay, I'm going to say this. If we go back in time, and we can dive into that because Dan was there. Dan saw everything that happened. Dan saw what you did. I only got involved in the match because I was refereeing to keep an eye on things because. I
didn't even see what I did.
You didn't see anything.
Parky knocked your glasses off.
No.
Yeah, they're not for show. I need them.
We know that. But anyway,
I don't think you do. You went to get out the ring without your glasses, and I was trying to hand them back to you.
Yeah, that was just pure instinct.
Yeah, but he was like Velma, trying to look. Cheekies, where's my glasses?
You wish I was in an orange jumper and a skirt.
Dan, welcome to the Madhouse. This is what happens, right? We bring in a guest, right? And we come in here to talk about you, what you've been doing, and talk about wrestling and stuff like that. But we're going to just sit here and argue with Laferde about all the things he does wrong. Because
this is why I don't get invited on as much anymore.
I feel at this point I'm probably better off saying nothing so I don't catch any strays. So you guys just crack on and, just stick my name in at the end of the credits.
We're going to try and keep this less time than what I made Dan's episode, because I can safely say at this point I'm still Dan's longest episode of the Wrestling Geezer podcast. So if you haven't checked it out already, by the way, go check out Dan's podcast, because, by the way, we need a chat in a second. I've had a week off from you and I'm not happy about it. I've told you before, if your episodes don't drop on a Friday, I have a very boring journey.
Unfortunately, mate, with moving house and stuff, I've had other priorities this week, and I don't think Ames would have appreciated it too much if I'd have said, sorry, can't fill in them forms. Mortgage will have to wait. Need to do a podcast.
Oh, mate, you're still early in this. My missus hates this podcast because of them sort of reasons. like Ronnie's not well. He needs to go to hospital, but I'm recording.
Yeah. No, she's actually this week's guest. You'll be pleased to know as well. So she's new to wrestling because of me. So since we've been together, she started watching it, and she has got ball of knowledge, mate. Like she sits there and watches wrestling now and says things, and I'm like, hang on a minute, are you reading that off of the internet? Like she's picked up some very good opinions and very good views on things.
That's
kind of where it started. That's kind of where it started, though, for you, wasn't it? Was Amy's TikToks?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
None of you guys have ever seen it, so Amy, Dan's other half, was doing TikToks. I can't remember the tagline, was something along the when your boyfriend's a wrestling nut, but you're not.
Yeah.
And you just say wrestling quotes at him, and there's Dan laying on the sofa watching wrestling.
I was actually barking at Ron Breaker when it started. And she's still with me and she's marrying me, so, you know, more fool her, eh?
But again, I don't know if you two know this, so the very small world about how, like, me and Dan got talking and all that is Dan's missus booked them tickets for Never Say Die, and when the tickets came through, I saw Amy's name on it, and I know Amy because I used to work with her brother, and I've met Amy because they come down to see me a couple of times at karaoke. And I was like, oh my God, I've just seen your name. Is that you that's booked this? She was like, yeah. Oh my God, is that you involved in this? I'm a big fan of AJ Slambino, and I'm really excited to see him. I was like, how mad is this? And obviously, Amy then introduced me to Dan at the show. We had a brief conversation then, didn't we?
Yeah.
Kind of, we got talking afterwards, etc. Dan went on another podcast. And it kind of went from Dan. You tell your story. Go for it.
Yeah. Basically, I didn't have sort of any social media presence. Obviously, my whole thing with the podcast is wrestling is cool. Geezers can like wrestling. You haven't got to be a nerd or a loser to like wrestling. So my whole thing is two blokes down the pub talking about wrestling. Like how I talk, like Laferde said, it's like David Beckham talking. I won't put on a funny voice. I won't change the way I speak. And that's how I like my guests to be. And it's a different perspective on wrestling. And that's where it all stemmed from. She sort of said, you should try this. And it's sort of snowballed from there, to be fair. Now I've got the podcast as well as TikTok.
And it's so good because if you go listen. Dan has segments look better than what we do. He has stuff set out because we've tried that and we always forget about the segments and stuff like that. But Dan has segments. For example, it was a reverse Mount Rushmore. If there was 4 wrestlers, you'd like to remove from history. Who would it be?
Yeah.
Etc. And it's so mad how many people say similar names. Like Alberto Del Rio is the most common name on that list, which is crazy.
Notable prick.
Yeah, right back.
Right. I got 7 minutes in. It's all right. We don't worry about demonetization.
You're not
allowed to swear
allowed.
now, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, you can
we're
say
fine.
what the fuck you want. Yeah.
We're past the 5-minute mark. It's fine. Yeah, you're not allowed to say the words Alberto Del Rio, notable prick, without ending with notable prick.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Very true.
Fair. That is very fair.
And the podcast, like I said, I got hooked on it straight away because it's like Dan says, it is literally like, it's kind of in a way like how I try to describe us. We are just, it's Talks with Dorks. That's exactly what it is. We are just a bunch of nerds who talk about stuff we love, whether it be superheroes, whether it be wrestling, whether it be TV show, whatever. It's just that, but in a wrestling way. And you've had some good guests. I mean, who was the guy I can't remember his name, the guy that you said was, like, you were kind of prepared. It was going to be kind of controversial.
Oh,
he was kind of misunderstood.
Yeah. He weren't misunderstood. He rage baits the internet. But I couldn't. I had a certain way I was going to go into the podcast, and then when it started, I realised I couldn't really go about it the way I wanted to. It wasn't quite. Online, he says certain things. He didn't say the same kind of things on the pod. So it wasn't as explosive as it potentially would have been. Do you know what I mean? But I had him on there because I had people in my DM saying, get into this fella. Do you know what I mean? Like, break down what he's saying. Don't, because obviously I call a spade. Do you know what I mean? So when he's chatting shit, I'll tell him he's chatting shit. But he didn't anything that was controversial. He just then went off on another tangent. So I couldn't really get into it with him, you know?
So at least I'm consistent, Ryan.
Yeah, true. You're a prick in real life. You're a prick on the podcast, and you're a prick in message. A prick in messages.
So I've always said about Laferde, he's a real pick.
Yeah, he's a pick of the crew. But like Laferde's incorporated it into like he's done the wrestling thing of like he's taken his character of himself and turned the volume up as such. But unlike everyone else, he's not had to turn it up as much.
Yeah.
Just natural.
Just put it to the maximum from 9 to 10.
I mean, funny enough, you talk about your missus, Dan, being like, you know, she kind of got introduced to wrestling by you and then has become almost this encyclopedia of knowledge. I feel like that's what Laferde's almost become for us because, like, Laferde, when we did Never Say Die, like, you were very much a casual fan, like, you know, you
Yeah,
followed
yeah.
a bit, but wasn't really too into it. Smash cut to the NFW show that some of the guys went to before our second show back in time. He sat there making notes and giving recommendations about who he'd book and how he'd book them.
Yeah, I think that's good though, because I think someone who's got no preconceptions. I mean, obviously Ryan was a Laps fan. Obviously, me and you have probably been Laps fans over the years as well. But someone who comes into it with fresh eyes, they don't know.
Let's not get carried away. These eyes aren't fresh.
They barely work.
I was trying to do you a solid there, mate. But you know what I mean. Fuck.
Trying to avoid anything being said to you.
All you don't realise that all that the third sees is I'm blur 1, Kurt's blur 2, you're blur 3.
I'm just going off voices.
It is like an episode of Scooby Doo.
Wait, who am I then?
Really?
No, I'm that rat. Again, it's going back to that Halloween thing, isn't it? Where they were doing Scooby Doo at the Garrison, and I got chosen just to be the random bald bad guy. Cool, yeah. Makes sense.
Old Man Withers?
I would have gone away if it weren't for you pesky kids. But, oh, mate, we can, you know, delve into all the hows, whys, and wheres things started. But I mean, we all like a bit of wrestling. Even Laferde is probably watching. Are you watching more than ever, Laferde? Do you find yourself watching wrestling now?
It's more reels and clips and stuff. I won't watch a full show just because of the timings it's on, and then I feel like it's spoiled if you watch it the day later, sort of thing. If I'm going to watch it, I'd watch it live.
Oh yeah, to be fair, on the one hand, with Raw being on Netflix nowadays, I am able to watch more, but in the same breath, I wake up in the morning, I load up YouTube before I get out of bed.
Yeah.
Automatically, all the highlights from Raw are already on there, so I still don't watch live as much as I'd like to.
So this episode will come out after Survivor Series, so we could go through predictions, but I mean, yeah, we could do actually. We'll do that in a second, and then they'll come out and see whether we got them wrong or not afterwards.
Yeah, it'll be fun for people to watch this and go, how spectacularly off the mark we were.
Yeah. We'd be like quoting the completely wrong matches. But we are fresh from last night's Raw, which was interesting because the biggest part I've seen all day long is Brock Lesnar falling on his ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the best person a botch like that could have happened to, because I also love this is the same year that he split his trousers.
In the same 3 months as well. Like, it's not even like year, same period, like same run basically since he's been back. He's split his trousers and he has fallen on his ass. But what I will take to it is, I think 10 years ago Brock would have dealt with both them incidences differently.
Yeah.
I genuinely,
100%.
because he seems to be more light-hearted than he's ever been. There's always been that about Brock, isn't it? Like that everyone, maybe even Laferde, has heard the Wade Barrett story of the kid that walks in in the gym changing room and goes to look at Brock in the shower.
Yeah.
Were you looking at my penis? That video.
Yeah.
But you know, like Brock has always had that very reserved, very keeps to himself. Probably not. Gives away the impression he's probably the not nicest guy in the world, like to be around. But it's just because he's very private. But this last couple of years of him, like, being funny Brock, cowboy Brock, in botches, I think, have helped lighten him up as a person, as such.
Yeah.
A little bit.
He needed
So
it.
serious. Yeah.
He needed it in light of the Vince McMahon stuff, didn't they? They had to not. I agree with what you said. I think if that happened a few years ago, he'd have fucking throttled someone. But the trousers ripping. I mean, I don't know if you've seen it, but when he got up, he put the cowboy hat on Braun Breaker. Things like that, he just wouldn't have done, would he? And I think maybe part of it, he thinks. I mean, I don't think he gives a fuck, to be honest with you. He's got more money than God, but I think to be successful, he needs at least some level of fan support. And if he don't lighten up and he don't appeal to the fans, well, they're just going to focus on the negative, which is obviously the Vince McMahon stuff.
Yeah. Also, to be fair, like, Brock, when he's in a good mood, is actually, by all accounts, Brock, when he's in a good mood, is actually a really good guy to get along with. Like, a lot of people, just on the work rate side of things, a lot of people will say, "Oh, you're Brock Lesnar. He's a finisher, spammer. You know, he doesn't sell for anyone." Like, if you actually watch Brock, if Brock likes you, he will sell his arse off for you.
Yeah.
As well, like, it's like, for example, like any match with the Undertaker. If the Undertaker went to chokeslam him, Brock got up for that.
Yeah.
And as I said, when Brock's in a good mood, if he likes you, yeah, he's a really good guy, apparently. And it just seems that he seems to be more open to laughing and getting on with more people.
But even the Superman punch from Roman on SmackDown, he sold that like the fucking rent was due. Do you know what I mean? He don't have to do that. He can no sell that because he's Brock Lesnar, but he didn't. He rolled out the ring, and so I agree with that 100%. If you're pals with him and he's in the wind's blowing the right way, you get a decent version of him, don't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
To be fair, I also think it's but for the benefit as well that Brock only sells when it matters. So the fact that he no sells so much, when he does sell for someone, it's enough to make you go, "Oh, he actually rocked him," and it makes the other guy look like $1 million for it.
100%.
They spent a lot of time building him up as the Beast, as this unstoppable force, and see, like you say, I don't know. To me, I would put it like the funny side of Brock has been around since before the Vince things, because I'll
give you that.
The clips of like the Money in the Bank. I got a year.
Oh, the Brock party.
Yeah, him with the. Was it with the briefcase?
Boombox on it,
Yeah, that's something like that was like. Well, I remember I didn't see that live, but I remember seeing a clip and going. And this was before AI was everywhere. It was like, that's got to be doctored. There's no way Brock Lesnar is dancing around with a briefcase like a boombox on his shoulder, because that is weird.
Again, the "I've got a year" is the best. Like Brock Lesnar not giving a shit about the rules of WWE and not knowing the rules is the most in character thing ever. So I've got a year. How did you not know that?
He's very good.
Yeah.
He's someone that you can't help but like now more than ever, I think, because yes, there's the situation with Vince, there's that's happened, but we still don't know like his involvement. We don't actually know what he did, as far as I'm aware.
He was
read
named
through all the papers.
Yeah, he was named. Well, it wasn't even directly named. It was just, someone described a person who the only person who could have matched that definition was Brock. But there still wasn't really much details in terms of like in what capacity he was involved.
And if I'm right, and this is probably very iffy to say on a podcast, it was it, if I'm right, wasn't it like mostly it wasn't that he actually was doing things. He was like, there was like a message or something of if you come work for us or come stay with us, you can have fun with this person. Something along those lines, and it was like, that's like someone else actually trying to make it bad. It doesn't, unless you see a message of Brock going, give it, let me have a go, I'm going to do this, and this to this person, then you've got a problem. But if it's really a message going to him, doesn't say he was like, I'm going to do that.
But also, guys, this comes back to something I touched on my podcast. The internet community, the wrestling community on the internet are very fucking fickle, because they're happy to separate wrestler and person when it suits, and when it don't, they don't want to do it. So can we not do that with Brock Lesnar? Can you not still like Brock Lesnar and separate him from the court case and all the shit that's going? Listen, if he's guilty, I hope he fucking rots in hell. But everyone's quick to jump to this, he's this, he's that, but then they only apply that narrative when it suits their narrative or their favourite. And I've had this conversation before.
I'll go one further than the wrestling internet community. I'd say it's the one thing about internet in general and cancel culture in general. I feel like more so than ever, the risk of getting a bit too political on this nerd podcast is I feel like more so now than ever, it seems to be guilty until proven innocent.
Rather than the other way around.
Yeah, absolutely. But Dan, you say that, like, how can they separate the man from the thing? I want to talk about Hulk Hogan then.
So I can separate Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan is an absolute fucking piece of shit, and I'm glad he's dead. However, I won't dispute what he did for the wrestling industry.
I was going to say, tell me how you really feel, Dan.
You're lucky it's not my podcast. I accidentally dropped the C-bomb last week on my podcast talking about him for the first time in 20 episodes. I managed to hold off, and I finally dropped it.
I knew, like, as soon as he said that just then, I was like, bring it up. Bring it up.
No, but the thing is, I can do that because I will always appreciate what he did for wrestling. But it's the same with anyone. Look at the Krays when they died, yeah? The Krays weren't the nicest people. When they died, you'd have thought they was fucking Mother Teresa and Gandhi. When someone dies, everyone tends to forget the bad stuff they did in any walk of life, whether it's the geezer down the pub or Hulk Hogan. And that's what my thing is with it. Chris Benoit was actually the conversation I was having. And it's separating the man from the wrestler. The wrestling element, he's one of the best wrestlers to ever do it.
I think with the Benoit,
But
that
he's also a murderer.
It's a complete, that is such a completely, like, that one. I kind of understand. Like, you can't really separate the wrestler because, like, I was watching clips of his Dark Side of the Ring thing the other day, and then I was getting a bit of a deep dive into certain things, and it was that stuff I didn't know was public knowledge in that, but supposedly, what he did to Nancy happened 2 days before he done it to himself. So he was making them vocals and that, and she was already got. So, and I think his son was, and it's just terrible. It's like, I know that, and people are still trying to like, oh yeah, but Chris Benoit, like, no. There's
the people. It's the people who do like AI videos of Benoit. It's the people who are making the AI videos of like, what if Benoit came back? I'm like, no. I do find that the whole scrubbing the man from history is arguably a step too far because, like, he shouldn't be celebrated at all for what he did. However, the whole scrubbing of the man from history kind of means that, like, there are certain wrestlers who the best match that they ever had is now like a internet rarity, a hard thing to find. Like, Kurt Angle's some of his best series was with Benoit, and
some of the best Four Horsemen stuff has got Chris Benoit in it. Flair, Arn, Benoit, Pillman. They're some of the best WCW stuff. And like you said, he's gone.
Yeah, Randy Orton, the youngest world heavyweight champion ever, dethroned. Never mind. There's so many moments in WWE history that kind of can't be talked about anymore. And there's one thing to say,
people pick and choose those, though, don't they? Do you know what I mean? That's what pisses me off about it. But listen, the Benoit thing's a separate conversation, but it's when they want some, like Alberto Del Rio, for example. It's another one. He's a complete prick, but people will pick and choose when that's a good argument to have. Oh, he's all right, he's not all right. And no, pick a side, fucking back your horse, and that's it, isn't it?
I think with one thing I say about Alberto is even before everything that went on with Paige, etc. Like, I never liked him when he turned up. I might be.
I didn't like him. I remember watching it and thinking
when I was doing my reverse Mount Rushmore, I always preferred. Is it Ricardo Rodriguez?
Yeah. Ricardo Rodriguez.
I loved him. But it was like, you're here to hype up that prick. Could have been.
I've not actually seen him
out to ring with him and stuff.
That's it.
Yeah. I thought I recognised the name.
Yeah, Alberto Del Rio, like, I don't know what it was. It was just like, yes, he was a heel and he was playing a prick, but like more than anyone, it just seemed so real, and it was just like you just come across as a prick. And then the whole stuff come out with with Paige or Saraya, etc. And it was like, oh right, no, I was right. He's always been a prick, and it was a point like. I'm surprised he's still wrestling like that.
But he's loved in Mexico, isn't he? They fucking love him in Mexico.
But also he's got a reputation as well for no showing indie bookings and things like that as well, like messing people around. So it's not even just the personal stuff side of things. It's just unprofessionalism in other ways. Yeah. The only thing I will back the man for is the fact that he got sacked initially from WWE for slapping a backstage person who had been being racist towards him. And he was the one that got sacked for it. That's the one instance with Alberto Del Rio I'm like, no, actually, man, you're in the right there. Like, the guy was being racist and you put him in their place, but you got sacked for it. However, stop clocks right twice a day.
But also, you look at the people they've brought back recently. So everyone, seen has had history with these people, etc. Well, he had a big run against Del Rio, didn't he? So if he wasn't a complete arsehole and he weren't in the wrong and this, was all, all smoke and no fire, well, he'd have been fucking back for this farewell tour, no?
Yeah, probably.
More than likely, and that's sort of going into a good point because, like, obviously the Last Time Is Now tournament is like basically one of the biggest things that's happened at the moment. Obviously, like I said, Survivor Series would have come and gone by the time this comes out, but we can sort of go into the Last Time Is Now because at the moment, pretty sure what happened last night was not meant to be the way. I mean, it definitely wasn't to end that way. I don't think the person who won the match was meant to win because that makes it Hill versus Hill in my eyes. Gunther won his match. Obviously, then you had Penta and Solo, and I had to go back because I was like, He's not
Penta's injured, isn't he? Yeah.
There's not, because I was like, he didn't look like he injured himself. He pulled the move off.
Yeah.
But I watched it back, and he lands and instantly grabs something. It's like, so you've grabbed your shoulder. You've done that as you were turning. Have you seen this, Laferde, by the way?
No.
So Penta, got injured against Solo Sikoa in the tournament. Last time is now tournament. So they had to bin the match off and call Solo. And even Solo, you could see in his face, he looked devastated. And I think it was written all over his face that, shit, this wasn't meant to happen. And what concerns me, I don't know if anyone else thought it, was like, was Penta meant to win the whole fucking thing?
I doubt it.
Do you know?
Yeah.
If it's Gunther versus Solo now, I actually thought that's how it was going to go. I called Solo as the winner on the last episode that I recorded with you, Ryan.
Yeah, you did.
Oh yeah, you did. Fair enough.
And the IWC has been saying it's going to be Gunther for the longest time, as well. Which Cena versus Gunther makes sense on a match. Cena versus Solo, to be fair, I feel like Solo could do with the win. And also, Cena and Solo do have history. Like, Cena tried to make Solo look like a monster at, was it Crown Jewel or Night of Champions or something? And unfortunately, just the follow-up booking just wasn't there. But Cena sold the Samoan Spike. Like, he talked as if his larynx had been crushed for like a week. So, Cena Solo makes sense. Cena Gunther also makes sense. I don't think Gunther needs it, really.
I don't think he should be. He should have been Mello or Evans in the final. Simple as that.
To be fair, I genuinely was watching that match last night thinking, Mello's walking away with this. Because it was such a good match. It was a really good match. Really good match. And like you kind of thought it was going to be a bit of a... I thought it was going to be a bit of a squash, but the way they played it out, the way he worked down Gunther, I was like, do you know what? I started believing it for a second, and then Gunther was like, bollocks.
The only thing that makes sense to me with it not being someone like Mello, because Mello would have been amazing to go all the way through, beat Cena in the final match, or at least give a really good showing. And, he's kind of a made man coming out of that. Even if he doesn't win, if he gets a good showing against Cena, he's a made man. What makes sense to me more, with it being either Solo or Gunther, is if Cena's winning.
Yeah.
Because neither of those men in particular, I think Solo needs it more, but neither of those men in particular need the win.
Who's left on the other
Solo's
side?
Solo's already been seen on
LA Knight, isn't it?
LA Knight. Sheamus has been injured, right? So they're replacing him.
The Miz is coming back in for Sheamus, isn't he?
But I don't... is that because everyone's kicking off that Miz hasn't had an opportunity to face John Cena? Is that it? Like,
And I'd be up for it.
Yeah. I think Miz deserves
Joe
it.
Hendry in all of this, by the way.
He's in NXT, isn't he? He's on main event roster money in NXT. Fucking backwards, mate.
Is he actually is he full because I know it was only like a week or two ago he fully signed for WWE, didn't he?
Yeah, so
I don't watch NXT
at the moment. I reckon there's two reasons why he's in NXT right now. Number one is he kind of already has had interactions with NXT and there's some stories they could tie up over there. Number two, and I'm actually okay with this, if they don't have anything to do for him on the main roster right now, don't bring him on the main roster yet.
Yeah. But I thought he might be in this tournament because it includes NXT guys. It includes people who don't work here. You would have thought he would to me, he was a shoo-in, and because he went on Chris Van Vliet's thing and said, "I'm manifesting this," and I
mean, he might replace Sheamus. We don't know for definite it's going to be the Miz, do we? It's just what they're speculating, but he potentially, I suppose.
I won't be mad if it's the Miz. I mean, like I say, the Miz and Cena have had only a few interactions, and as badly booked as the Miz was as champion, and as bad as the decision was to have The Rock restart the match or something like that, I do feel kind of bad for the fact that the only major interaction that they had, the Miz got spectacularly concussed before the end of that match, and they've never really been able to run it back the same way. And I'll be up for seeing the Miz against Cena one more time.
I think the Miz is good, man. I said about him, but that is one of the things I argued with that Gav on the podcast about, right? If you remember, and he tried to say he was I can't remember, a jobber or something, and then that was when I sort of was like, nah, he's a fucking Grand Slam champion, man. He ain't a jobber.
He's worked his arse off to do it as well. Like, he came in, hated people.
No, I used to
not
fucking
wanting
hate him.
Well, he came through the reality TV show, didn't he? And they just battered the life out of him in training, didn't they? Because he come through was it like the MTV Real World or something he was on?
It was
And
the Real
Al
World.
Snow bullied him,
Wasn't it-
didn't he?
Was it Benoit as well, that he got thrown out of the locker room because he accidentally got a crumb on Benoit's locker room bag or something like that, and he wasn't allowed to get changed in the locker room for like a year or something because of that.
Yeah. To be fair, the man has grafted to earn his spot. And fun enough, me and Dan, when we were talking, when we were doing the commentary for Back in Time, which we do need to talk about in a bit, funny enough. But when we were done with the recording of the commentary and we were just talking off mic, we were talking about The Miz, funny enough, and I said, like, The Miz, he's not the flashiest wrestler in the world. He's not necessarily the most spectacularly interesting wrestler in the world, and I'll take nothing away from him, because do you know what he is? He is one of the most reliable workers who can have a passable to good match with anyone, and is a reliable heel that you can always pull if need be. You tell him jump, he says how high. And to have done that for as long as he had, and his whole career, he's had one injury in his whole career. And even then, it was in the fucking Elseworlds that we don't talk about, in terms of the zombie lumberjack match during COVID, was the one time he got injured. And
I really did not watch through. I couldn't watch without a crowd. It was
horrible. I did.
Me too.
I will never go back. There were actually some decent matches during the COVID era, but I'll never go back and watch them because, again, it exists in the bad place. But
for me, with the COVID era, there was a bit that, like, I went and watched because Stone Cold was appearing, and I was like, I see this. This is going to be mad.
no.
When he walked out doing his whole Stone Cold shtick, and there is no pop, nothing, I was like,
It's the first Raw. It's the first Raw of COVID, and they haven't figured it out yet. So it's just empty arena with nothing.
Yeah.
It was so weird seeing Stone Cold start, and it was like,
Although it does involve the greatest Stone Cold stunner settle ever from Montez Ford,
Yeah.
who basically
I don't know,
freezes
Scott Hall,
before-
man. Scott Hall's one. I think he's the best.
There's a
Pretty much does
lot of
backflip out
contenders
the
up
ring,
there.
doesn't he?
There are a lot of contenders for best
Rock
stunner
sells
sell.
it, because it's
Yeah.
the most stupidest sell in the world with the way Rock sells it. But to be honest, whenever I've taken it, I've done it the Rock way. I always take it. I always go backwards, go up, and go over.
The back handspring.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because it's so overkill. Simply would be the Rock
Yeah.
made up.
Although I do feel like I do think the
Massive.
best Rock stunner sell, it's the go home Raw before WrestleMania 19, where Austin stunners him. The Rock pops back up, dizzy,
stuns him
and
again.
frame it, up, second stunner.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a conversation we could easily spend the rest of the pod on. Is the best stunner sells of all time and the worst.
Vince McMahon.
Some contenders for that as well.
He could be in both of those categories, I think, wouldn't he? He's took a few good ones, and he's also taken a few bad ones, hasn't he?
Vince has never, and I'm going to die on this hill. Vince has never taken a good stunner. He's taken so many, and not a single one of them have been good.
I'm going to go back and do some
Ironic.
research.
Even the first one that he ever took, Austin kicks him. He kind of stumbles into it. He hits him, and he almost flips over him. It basically looks like a really sassy snapmare.
Yeah, Laferde, why do you hate the Miz? Are you a fan of him now?
Nah, I used to hate him, but that's like a testament to how he played the character in it. Like it used to be one of them annoying ones.
Yeah, so
Like,
you were like in the sense of what he was showing you on TV.
Yeah. Like obviously
You-
looking back, you think it's good. It's like when Randy Orton used to have the legacy with him, and he'd find a way to win every time. It was so annoying.
Yeah. So you're looking at it as you should do, as we all should do. Really, you're believing it, like the story, and you're going through with it. But then like, who was it I see the other day? Was it Jericho or someone talking about how wrestling terms, like backstage terms, are like everywhere now. It's like it's so weird that everyone knows all the terms. Even Jacob knows what kayfabe is, which is crazy. And he's 8 years old. But this is also the reason why he's the boss of TDW, because he has better knowledge than all of us. He, what was it he said the other day to me? We were doing some TikTok, and he just comes out with stuff, and he tells me it's in our. You'll see it. We've done a Survivor Series predictions. He talks about what he thinks is going to happen with the men's. I think the men's Survivor Series, and I'm looking at it going, yeah, that makes yeah. That's probably how it's going to play out. That's just not fantasy booking. That's you actually looking at the storylines and going, yeah, that's probably how it's going to play out, isn't it? Yeah. That makes so much sense for an 8-year-old to know. He, like, honestly, knowledge is unbelievable. But while we're there, then Survivor Series predictions. Are you looking like? Are we liking the look of this Survivor Series?
Do you know what? I think it's probably one of the most, especially like the War Games matches. I think they're probably the most star-studded War Games matches we've had in a while. But I also don't feel like there's too much of a reason for those matches to exist. Like we've had previous ones where it's been like the Bloodline saga, and then it was old Bloodline versus new Bloodline. Yeah, before that we had Sammy. Is Sammy all in or not? When you had KO on the other team, like we've had loads of War Games matches where there is a story. This does feel a little bit like the Avengers Assemble of War Games matches, which I'm actually all for. Like, I quite like the idea of seeing all of these big names in one match. But again, I'm not as invested because I feel like those matches are just kind of there because we're almost falling into the Hell in a Cell trap, which is, it's October, you're having a feud, guess what? Have it in the cell. And I now feel like we're getting to that point with Survivor Series where Survivor Series has become the War Games pay-per-view. It's like, it's November. Who's feuding right now? You're feuding. Brilliant. Oh, fuck, there's only 3 of you. Right, find 3 extra guys, quick. Right.
I think as well, because it feels like the team, like especially the face team, has been the same now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, all right, granted, Punk wasn't in the team 2 years ago, but he made his return. So he's kind of just replaced Randy Orton in that sense. It feels like you're seeing the same, even though it is different, you're seeing pretty much the same thing. So to me, I'm not going to lie to you, I'll say it, Ashley, if we're talking about the men's War Games match, I believe the Hills are winning this.
Yeah,
I'm on board with that, yeah. Also, like, ever since Brock joined the team in particular, I'm like, don't get me wrong, near enough everyone on the other side, at least 3 of them in terms of Cody, Roman and Punk, have a history with Brock. So yes, those 3 ganging up in particular could pin Brock. But also it's Brock. Like, if there was ever someone who's going to come in and absolutely munch the entire field, you've got Brock in that match now. Yeah. Brock and Braun. I mean, Jesus, like those 2 on the same team. Who, by the way, there's a tiny part of me that thinks this might happen, which is because I think most people will agree, Bron Breakker is a future world champion.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And I think it's going to happen sooner rather than later. I think the only real debate is who has it first, him or Dominic. But
I think they'll choose Bron, but
yeah. But part of me thinks this is going to happen. Which some people might say, is it a bit too soon after they turned heel on Seth? Like they were already heel, and even then, the fact that the other person I'm about to say can be a face quite easily because people will cheer them regardless in a lot of cases. Part of me feels like Bron is going to spear Brock in that match. I don't know why, but part of me feels like that is going to happen. Whether that ends up with Bron being face or Brock being face, I feel like WWE would almost be a fool not to book Brock versus Bron during this Brock run. And whether it happens at War Games or whether it happens soon after it, I think that match is coming.
Would it not be... in my head, I would put it down to he spears Roman, because Roman does the spear. And then the feud could be Roman versus Braun. That's in my head. I don't know.
I can definitely see them doing the dueling spear spot. Like either both of them hit a spear in opposite rings on someone else, or they both run to do the spear on each other and collide with the shoulders mid-air. I can definitely see them doing one of those 2 spots, or both, in that match. I also am 100% convinced that Cody's going to moonsault off the top of the cage. I can just see that happening. Just please don't break your toe again.
I think Logan will probably do something big time as well.
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
Why is these? I genuinely have always hated the Pauls until wrestling. I hate Jake with a passion. I think he is the biggest bell end in the world. And if he beats Anthony Joshua, it's proven that boxing is more fixed than wrestling. I'm telling you now. But Logan, like the other week, I was genuinely behind him. Almost, I was like, is he about to turn face? Oh, this could be really good. This could actually be really good to see if he can pull this off, because the wrestling he's got. He's hated by adults anyway. So we already hate him and we'll boo him regardless. But can we cheer him? Because we all actually do probably go at this point, yeah, he's actually pretty good at wrestling. But
it's the most annoying thing is we all have to concede. No matter what we might think of him as a person, we all have to concede he's actually pretty good at this thing called wrestling, isn't he?
He's shit up, mate. He'll be a world champion in 100%. He's the future of WWE. I had this conversation with someone the other day. They were saying he's not as good as Will Ospreay, and I said, well, I posted about it on TikTok as well. He don't have to be as fucking good as Will Ospreay. He has to be WWE's equivalent of Will Ospreay, and he will be that because he don't need the money. He does this because he loves wrestling. It's like any of us getting in the ring. We love wrestling.
Yeah.
Which is a point. Like, a lot of people say, oh, Logan Paul, he's doing this just for the money, just for the brand. He didn't need the money.
No.
He was one of the most successful YouTubers in the world. The man was made. He didn't need to sign a big WWE contract to make more money or get more eyes on his brand. Like, everyone knew who Logan Paul was. Everyone knew what Prime was already. Like, if you think that Logan Paul is just doing this for the money and the brand, like, you're an idiot.
Maybe that's how it started. Maybe that's what it was going to be, because it was going to be a one-off, wasn't it? It was going to be just a... But he obviously is a fan, for one. So he's obviously looking and gone, I can do this. Because he was doing the boxing as well, wasn't he? They were both boxing. Yeah. So I think Logan realised that, well, actually, I could have a bit more fun with this and feel like I've, not go out there. Because in wrestling, he's not, as much as people go, oh, fucking Logan Paul, no, he's this, he's that. He's not coming up against the same things that Jake's coming up with, where people are accusing him of rigging matches.
Yeah.
Because he's in wrestling.
It's already rigged.
They already know the answer. They already know that it is. So that at least we're admitting it. But he's putting, like you say, he's putting in the work effort to show that, yes, it is already rigged. And he's not winning every match, but he's doing what wrestlers should be doing. He's not just going out there and getting moves in to say he's done it. He's going out there and putting his body on the line.
Yeah, he's already better than Jey Uso. Fact. 1,000,000%
Jey
fact.
Uso was my next card to use against Dan to rile him up.
Mate, that botch last night is a fucking piss take to anyone who's ever got in a wrestling ring. Now, I can't wrestle, but neither can fucking Jey Uso.
I do maintain he's a really good tag team wrestler, and he's over with his character. However, am I the only one? I know I'm not the only one that thinks the wrong Uso got the singles push.
100%, man.
100%, yeah. The third, what about your opinion?
He's annoying.
Moving on.
A grown-ass man that just stands there waving his arms around, chanting, is annoying.
No, listen, I will never take away from the yeeting, because...
I get it, right? That kid's an adult, I get that. I just can't take him seriously when he's doing stuff like that.
But he can't deliver a promo either. He cannot speak.
Jimmy's the better promo.
Yeah.
Like, Jimmy's character work is better.
He looks better as well.
You see that since the Usos have rejoined. Jimmy's doing most of the talking.
Right, so let me put this to you then. The Usos are one of the best tag teams ever.
Correct.
Is that purely down to Jimmy then? Because Jay can't fucking promo, he can't wrestle. Jimmy can do it all. So if Jay wasn't with Jimmy, say Jay was with, I don't know, Dave fucking Uso instead, would that have been one of the best tag teams ever?
You could have pulled any of the bloodline names out and you come up with Dave.
That's his brother who don't wrestle. Did you not know that? Dave, he's a famous postman.
Kurt Uso.
Dave Uso.
Postman Uso.
And to be fair, I do think it takes two to tango. And I think the way that the Usos work together as a team, I think obviously them being twins, they're often on the same wavelength with what they're doing. I don't think they could work together teaming with anyone else. That being said, I will die on the hill that Jimmy is the better Uso.
100%.
Okay, I'll put this to you then. How about this one? Because I, as just reading into things, is thinking that Jay is a bit of a herbalist.
Yeah.
And in other news, the sky is blue and water's still wet.
Right. So, I mean, I'm not
Wait,
saying
the
that
sky's
Jimmy
blue?
isn't, but so I'm saying Laferde, just in case you're wondering. I think he might smoke the ganja.
I know what you mean.
But no, I know.
Fucking hell, full flask here.
But I'm looking at it as someone that knows about that sort of thing and seeing that people go, hey, well, it doesn't affect my abilities. Like if I'm smoking or doing stuff like that. But yeah, the botch in the punk match, the botch last night, the botches. There was a point where I did believe Jay could do this, but it seemed to be. Do you know what's weird? When Travis Scott turned up with him smoking a joint, it seemed like he went, I can do that. If he's doing it on the telly, I can definitely smoke one backstage before I go out and cut a promo. I know I can. And it's kind of gone. I mean, by the way, if this ever gets quoted or we get big enough and this goes out there, I'm not saying that he is a complete and utter weed head and that is affecting him, but I'm just trying to find a reason for why. Because, am I wrong? At the beginning of this run, you generally did believe, your Jay is the one. But
yeah, let's do the legal bit now. Pure speculation, pure allegedness. We're guessworking here. Legal bit out of the way. Continue.
Yeah, he's a stoner.
I think the WWE killed him as well, because you can't give someone the moniker main event and then they go and fucking fight for the 24/7 title or that speed title. So they've put a lot of pressure on him as well. And someone backstage must have known he ain't that fucking good. It was always going to come on top.
Don't get me wrong. I actually do think in that Rumble, I wasn't mad at him being the one that got the push in the Rumble. Because again, relatively unproven. He's over. You know, we were given the main event moniker, and everyone thought it was going to be Cena. So, for the sake of not going with the obvious and still going with someone to like, you know what, we're going to give this guy the old college try. We're going to give him the rocket push. I'm actually totally on board with him pushing at Jey Uso. However,
it's the naming, though, man.
Yeah, I think I definitely do think in the lead up to Mania and also in the title run after. Dear God, the title run after. Just so many botches. What they had to work it into the storyline leading up to Mania that he's in his head and as Gunther got him rattled. No, he just can't fucking do a move without botching it.
Again, talking about like saying it's to do with weed and stuff like that, it could be a factor because he was definitely very happy when Travis Scott was stood next to him smoking one walking through the crowd. That's what gave my head. And like I said, the botches are stupid botches. They are botches that would happen if you were under the influence of that, in my eyes. But that's what I've read into it. But is it also the pressure?
Yeah. Possibly.
Because there was a lot of pressure put on, like, you see that Unreal, we're going to put a rocket up your ass, and they probably do have them conversations with people, but the internet was also talking about it. Oh, they've got to give Jay, they've got to push Jay, they've got to give this. So he is seeing that, and maybe he crumbled under pressure. And maybe they chose the wrong, maybe they did choose the wrong Uso. Yeah, I don't know.
I've got a different idea.
Go on.
Ooh.
He wants to come to Danger Zone on 28th of February.
I'll fight him. I'll wrestle him.
There we go.
Fucking come near me, mate. Cockney Cowboy, fucking take him out.
Don't think of the backstage promos I can make with that.
What, with Jey Uso being there?
Well, I meant Dan as well, but yeah.
Bring him down, mate. I'll give him the old pie mash smash, mate. He won't hit him.
I love how Ryan thought he had a genuine idea and theory behind this, and like
I generally was like, I'm actually quite intrigued because you are the silent killer. You are the one that comes out with stuff.
The look in your eyes, then you was like, oh my god, he's got this, and then you just.
No, I was like, actually, you've said 4 words in the last half hour, so I was actually excited.
I don't even know half the stuff that you guys are on about, and to be fair,
I can see it in your face. Your face is like that. You're going.
I'm trying to hold it together, mate. These meds are kicking in. I'm having a great time.
The meds are kicking in. We're going to carry on talking to around a minute.
Honestly, like your guys' little squares are like popping out my screen. It's like some Alice in Wonderland shit right now for me.
I think we've figured out what Jey Uso's been taking.
The third, literally, we just look over his screen in a minute. It would just be flashing lights in his room and him in his pants going.
Cutting shapes.
Yeah. The first are over here. Yeah. So you know what? We need to let's go back to the predictions then. So we all agreement we think the heels are going over in the men's.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have a genuine question about this. Right, what is this War Games business?
So,
Laferde.
So you tilt your out at me like that?
Is that a genuine question? Like we don't know what. War
Yeah,
Games
I've
is
seen
about?
like clips in that where there's like 2 rings or whatever, but I don't understand what the whole War Games is. I know,
Right.
I know the different match types and that, but I don't understand the match type of a War Game.
So, I mean, firstly, War Games has been around for decades. It was originally a WCW thing, but the WWE version is slightly different.
Okay.
Long story short, yeah, you got it. 2 rings side by side with a great big steel cage covering all of them. So it's 2 teams, and 2 wrestlers will start in the ring at one time.
Which, when
And
you
then-
say the ring though, like it's 2 rings, so what do you mean? Like
Yeah.
one starts in one and one starts in the other?
Yeah, but they'll wrestle across both
Effectively.
rings.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
okay.
the main reason there's 2 rings is by the time all people are involved, you need the 2 rings. But it will
So
start off with just 2 wrestlers.
where's these other people then, if there's only 2 starting? Is there like
They are
elimination
locked in
chamber where they
small-
come in?
They are locked in small shark cages on the ramp. And basically every
They're weird,
few
aren't
minutes, I
they?
think it's every 5 minutes, one wrestler from one team is allowed out. They always do a match beforehand to determine who gets the advantage. So, for example, let's say it started, let's say it was Roman and Brock starting.
Yeah.
5 minutes, if
Definitely won't
Brock's
be the
team
third, by
had
the
the
way.
advantage, it'll be someone from Brock's team that comes out, and then it's 2-on-1 for a bit. If
Okay.
it's someone on Roman's team who
So
had the advantage,
they'll be the
yeah,
first
yeah.
one to have the number up throughout. What
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
it
yeah.
even better, Laferde, the official match does not start until all 10 men are in the
Yeah.
ring. So by this point, it's usually about
Oh.
25 minutes into kicking shit out of each other.
And the bell hasn't rung
rings.
yet. Yeah. So the whole,
I mean,
the
I
whole,
know there's a whole... Go on.
yeah, the whole one entering after another. So it goes, 2-on-1, then 2-on-2, then 3-on-2. That as more people enter,
Yeah.
it's just about inflicting enough damage, and yeah. And then when the final person enters, they shut the cage door, and the bell finally rings. And then at that point, it's the first team to get 1 pinfall wins.
Oh, right, okay.
Submission. Under original War Games rules, and admittedly, AEW Blood and Guts is closer to the original War Games rules. Yeah. It's not pinfall; it's submission or surrender.
It's not like a normal steel cage where you can just climb out and win them.
No, the steel cage is basically just there to keep them all in.
Yeah.
You can climb out of it as such. There's no roof on it.
Oh, but there is a rule: deliberately exiting the cage is a forfeit.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. So, Survivor Series, obviously, as you know, has been around for years. Like The Undertaker debuted at Survivor
Yeah.
Series. The Rock. Survivor Series used to be 5-on-5.
Yeah. That's what I remember of Survivor Series.
But I think because it's like, again, like how many more of them can you do when there's 10 people? So they've expanded. It's just made it bigger and such. Made the Survivor Series match bigger and give us another reason to have a cage around the ring.
I have heard that you don't need too many multi-man matches in one event.
Yeah. Survivor Series is a shit pay-per-view, wasn't it? The original format for Survivor Series.
Vince McMahon wanted to cancel it at one point.
Yeah. It's
In
boring,
fact,
isn't it?
do you remember when bragging rights was a thing for like a couple of years?
Yeah.
I
The whole
do remember
reason
that
bragging
pay-per-view,
rights
yeah.
the whole reason bragging rights was a thing was basically Vince trying to prove a point because he really wanted to cancel Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, it evolved. I mean, I did like the original Survivor Series, but again, it got stale, didn't it? Because you're seeing the same thing. Then it became Team Raw versus Team SmackDown for a few years, didn't it? And
God, don't talk to me about the fucking brand warfare.
which was always Raw winning. It was Raw winning. For
Yeah,
for-
SmackDown always got
2016, Raw did a washout. Yeah.
Wasn't there a year when it was like the Nexus against Team Cena and whoever he had?
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
Daniel Bryan, wasn't it?
That was
Yeah,
SummerSlam.
I remember him
Yeah.
being like the last person to come out or something, and because the
Yeah,
Miz
he
came
was
out,
gonna
didn't he?
be
He
the
was like,
Miz,
"You're not
wasn't
in
it?
the
Yeah.
team."
Bret was in that match.
Yeah.
Bret Hart was in that match. He couldn't take a bump. He got
Jericho as well, I
DQ'd
think.
immediately because he wasn't allowed to bump.
Right, let's just finish off our predictions because I want to come back to Bret Hart, right? Because he said something recently that I about, right? So let's go back to it. Right, that's the men's War Games match, like
Women's War Games?
women's War Games, which teams wise quickly. So Laferde's filled in.
Thank you.
So we've got Team 1 is Alexa and Charlotte.
Rhea.
Rhea, AJ,
Rhea.
and
EO.
And Io, yeah.
then
And versus Asuka and Kyrie. Is Becky in that one?
yes,
Yeah, Becky. and then what's her name? The bird off of NXT, Lash Legend.
That's
Yeah.
it. I could never remember it.
Nia
That's why I
Jax.
didn't want to say this one.
Yeah, Lash Legend. Admittedly, Lash Legend absolutely main roster ready. I would have given her an outing in actual proper singles action rather than just whacking her in the multi-woman match. But
Well, yeah, but then also it's a good time to like. She's going to now spend time with 9 of the biggest names on the roster, so probably a good way to feed yourself into it.
yeah, well, if you're going to do it though, you need to showcase her in a few ways. You need to give her a couple of big spots, or have her be like the Iron Woman who starts off at number 1 and is still going through. You need to give her something at the very least, like I think what they did with Tiffy in her first Elimination Chamber. That's one of those things that made us go, she's ready.
Well, but maybe she starts.
Yeah, that's mean to have her start and be the Iron Woman.
Who's
I
got the
think
advantage in the women's?
Oh,
Have they done that
got
match
the-
yet?
think it's Friday, isn't it?
yeah,
Oh,
I
right,
don't
so
think
SmackDown.
that
Yeah,
yet, no.
SmackDown. They're choosing it. Right, fair enough.
Yeah, in that match, I think the faces are going over. If you ask me,
Yeah, I don't think you. If I'm almost certain the heel, because it would be silly at this point if the faces win the men's again, because it's just like, oh great,
That happens every
to me,
year.
It's a repeated formula at the moment, and it's like, no, I get it because there's been reasons to have them win, but now we need you're knocking the vision as such if you've made them.
to be fair,
bigger and
especially
stronger.
the Vision need a win. Especially the Vision need a win after they've ousted Seth. Because if they lose now, it's a case of, oh well, you're weak without Seth.
I believe he's coming back at Survivor Series, but that's a whole another hour on the men's war games. But
yeah,
right,
with
who
that in
do you
mind, I
think-
think
I think faces. Yeah, the girls are winning.
Yeah.
Rhea's
Agreed.
team's gonna win that one.
if for no other reason other than if we've got the heels winning the men's one, then I think the faces win the women's.
Yeah. Other matches we've got is the Women's World Heavyweight Championship, right? Nikki Bella versus Stephanie Valkyrie.
Stephanie Fakir. It's got to be Stephanie.
Yeah, got to be.
I think this is a no-brainer. I think this is a no-brainer. I mean, don't get me wrong. Heel Nikki. I'm actually quite glad we got heel Nikki. Heel Nikki is a million times better than face Nikki. Number one, she's on a Legends run. She's already been one of the longest Divas champions in the world. She doesn't need another title run. Stephanie, only recently been belted. Stephanie is amazing. She has aura. She has fan support, and her title run's not been that long yet. Give her a notable win by beating a legend. This is not the time to take the belt off her.
And then I believe, unless this is my match, I'm thinking the only other match is Cena versus Dirty Dom for the Intercontinental title, which is
Me and you have disagreed on this. I know where you're going on this one.
okay. Where am I going?
You're saying that Cena retains because you think his final match should be for the Intercontinental title.
I think it should be because I believed that who won the tournament should be either Joe Hendry or Carmelo Hayes, someone that is deserved of, because like we said, Gunther doesn't need to beat John Cena. He doesn't need to. It's like the Undertaker never needed to lose to Brock. Why Brock? Brock's won everything. He did not need his
Correct.
name to be that one. It should have. I'm not gonna lie to you. And even though we hate him, it should have been Roman. It should have been Roman that did that because they were trying to put that. But then he probably would have been hated more than he was at the time, which is
At
hard.
WrestleMania 30, he wasn't ready.
No,
If you were going to do it at 30, then it wasn't Roman's
it shouldn't.
time.
It shouldn't have been there. Shouldn't have been there. Shouldn't. Anyway, but to me, but now if we're looking at it, it's probably going to be. It's going to be. Who do we say is left? We've got Gunther. We've got Solo. We've got LA Knight.
And probably Miz.
And probably Miz. If it's Joe Hendry the surprise, yeah, keep the title, give it to Joe, please give it to Joe, because that would just be the guy's grafted his ass off to get over. He's already on. Like the guy has never actually officially wrestled a singles match on a WWE weekly show, right? Other than NXT,
No.
not on Raw, not on SmackDown. Yes, he's had a WrestleMania match, but he deserves to come in because he's Joe Hendry. He's not going to come in and go, "Who's Joe Hendry?" I've said his name so many times. I swear to fucking God, he should have appeared by now. But I generally believe if it's him and he comes in, yes, he needs to win that tour. I believe he needs to win that tournament, to me, because it should be the freshest face there, not someone who's won stuff. If it's not for the title, yeah, it could be any one of them. But to me, if you're keeping it, if Cena's winning at Survivor Series, it shouldn't be Gunther, shouldn't be Solo, shouldn't be LA Knight. It should be Joe Hendry and not The Miz. But
and to be fair, the reason
win.
I think Dom's
Yeah,
going to win because for a few reasons. Number one, Cena's now a Grand Slam champion, so he's had he's had that rub.
for.
Exactly, he's had the rub, so he can drop it now. Number two, if you're not going to rocket strap Dom and move him up the card now, give him his title back because he was doing well with the title. Number three, Cena's final match. If Cena's winning, you don't want him to win with the belt anyway. And especially if it is like Solo or Gunther, neither of them need the Intercontinental title. And also, if Cena's losing, if he's putting over his final opponent, you don't need the belt in the equation. Saying that you retired Cena is an accolade enough.
Yeah, yeah. And this was my point of like the 6-man tag match. Do you know who I was proudest of most in that match? JD.
Yeah,
JD
100%.
McDonough, because that kid has got a future ahead of him. And yes, they lost, but JD McDonough got to be the final AA on Raw. The final pin by John Cena was technically John Cena's final ever opponent on Raw. Is JD McDonough. Yes, you got Finn, you got yeah. But JD, the youngest and the freshest, I am so glad it was him, because as much as he's like, yeah, he should have beat him for that honour. As we know the ins and outs, that yes, it was chosen. Of course, John Cena was going to win that, but he always forever say John Cena's final Raw match at Madison Square Garden, I'm the one that he beat. So he gets to say that. So yeah, I at this point I think Dom's winning. I do. Generally, he's taking that title.
Yeah.
This tournament for Cena, I've got a question about it. Well, I've got two actually. Has Dom already been in that tournament? Is he part of it?
So
and is there a mystery opponent? Is this what you guys keep saying? That there's a...
No. So basically, a couple of weeks ago, John Cena was cutting a promo because it was going to be one of his final appearances. It was definitely going to be his final appearance in Boston, his hometown.
Yeah.
And then Dom just came out and was giving the large one about he's one of the greatest.
We all knew it was happening because we'd pretty much been told John Cena was going to win the one title he's never won.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, so Dom gave it the large one, and then they said, hey, tell you what, you can defend your Intercontinental title tonight against Cena. Cena beat Dom in his hometown, won the Intercontinental belt, which is the only belt he's never won. And yeah, nice feel-good moment. That was totally separate from this tournament that's happening.
Right.
So basically, the Survivor Series match is happening with him and Dom, basically so Dom can have his rematch. And then the tournament's happening to basically decide who's going to be Cena's final opponent on Saturday night's main event.
No, just with you guys saying it could be Miz, it could be Joe Hendry or whatever. Is there like a space open or something?
So
yeah,
there was originally 16 people in the tournament, and there was a couple of surprises. One of the surprises being Matt Cardona, who was Zack Ryder. He came back as Zack Ryder. Nick Namath, who's in TNA's Nick Namath, back as Dolph Ziggler. Again, pretty much, if I'm wrong about this, tell me, but pretty much everyone believed that Joe Hendry was going to be in this tournament, especially because when they said, we won't tell you this name until next week, so you assumed that someone was going to go, it might be Joe Hendry, and then see his name, and he appears. Ironically, as they were announcing the surprise entrances, Joe Hendry officially got signed to WWE, even though he's basically been on NXT for a while. He got officially signed. He's now a WWE superstar as such. But he's not in the tournament. Sheamus beat... Who did Sheamus beat? Miz.
Rusev, didn't he?
Rusev. No, Rusev's still in it, isn't it? Oh, hang on. Rusev's still in it. Wait, Rusev...
Yeah.
More people on the other side. And let me see if I can find it out. Have a look. Keep talking and I'll see if I can find the tournament.
So basically there's a spare spot in this tournament.
Basically, yeah, Sheamus won his match, but he got injured.
Yeah.
So now there's a spare space going, and
right.
A lot of people are thinking it might be The Miz, because The Miz technically wasn't in that tournament, but yeah, he has history with Cena, so it kind of makes sense. A lot of people would love it to be Joe Hendry. There's also one name from that pipe bomb promo that Cena cut that hasn't made his return yet. We had Nick Nemeth, You know,
Claudio, he ain't going to be there, man.
yeah, exactly. Hi, Matt Cardona. Claudio's not been mentioned, but then Claudio's under contract with AEW, who they don't have a relationship with.
Yeah.
So
I think R-Truth's got a shot, you know, for the mystery
True.
opponent. If he ain't involved in it, it's a fucking travesty.
True, but R-Truth's also had a rivalry with Cena during this final run, whereas all the other guys in the tournament haven't had that one-on-one rivalry yet in that final run. It's like, Orton's not
Gunther
in it.
versus
Punk's
Solo
not gonna be in it.
Sikoa, LA Knight versus Jey Uso. Hang on.
Rusev lost by Cantat to Mello, didn't they?
That was it.
No, that was no, it wasn't. It was Bronson Reed, wasn't it? Sorry.
Oh yeah, God, my memory's
I knew it was
terrible.
the big guy. I knew it was a big guy that he got counted out.
Right, well, I'm going to throw in a random idea that's out there for this whole thing. Cena beats Dom. Dom goes into the tournament as the mystery person and faces Cena back for the title.
Ooh.
Yeah, but the mystery opponent is being announced this Friday, isn't it?
Or is it? That's me, I don't know.
Yeah, so I think it's a good idea, very
Good
good.
shot, yeah.
But also at the same time, I wouldn't like that because Cena's final 3 matches have been with one person. It's like,
Yeah, there is that.
you need to, you need to give someone else a rub. Like
I swear I've seen someone saying something. Edge is coming back.
Yeah, we talked about this on the last podcast episode. So Edge is technically now out of contract with AEW because he's gone away to film some more of Percy Jackson, where Edge is an actor and he's in the Percy Jackson series. So I think actually he's now out of contract, but he's still unofficially with AEW, and it would take a lot. I mean, he might technically actually still be under contract with AEW. I'm not sure about exactly when his contract expires.
Yeah.
I think it expires during this break, at the very least. So there is technically a window where he could actually be seen as final opponent. I think it is, in theory, doable. But the whole reason he's taking this break anyway is to do filming, so his schedule's probably not going to line up. I said this last week, nothing would make me happier than someone like Solo winning the tournament, doing Cena's last match, maybe Cena beats Solo, and then just as he's coming to his feet and waving to the crowd, "You think you know me?" And Edge comes out, totally mirroring New Year's Revolution. Cena thinks he's done, and then Edge comes out to spoil it all. And then one more time, because again, I will die on this hill. I think Edge is Cena's ultimate opponent.
Do you know what? I think
Edge or Orton.
I'm confused. I'm reading an article here that's saying the semi-final matches. Where is it? Semi-final matches for this is Gunther versus Solo, LA Knight versus Jay. Like, what?
That was Friday, wasn't it? No.
Yeah, but no. Do you know why? They've already taken SmackDown, haven't they?
Oh, of course they have.
SmackDown.
Yeah.
So we know it was. I think it was The Miz. If I'm wrong, it was. So I'm looking at the actual brackets right now, and the brackets.
Yeah.
Obviously, this side, Sikoa and Gunther has one semi-final, and then this side it's got Uso versus Rusev, question mark versus Knight. And then I'm reading it going, what? This makes no sense. Then I just remembered, I'm pretty sure it was pre-taped. So I think it was Miz. So it's LA Knight versus Jey Uso. It's got to be LA Knight versus Gunther. So I'm not going to lie to you. To me, it's telling me that Gunther's going to be his final appointment at this point.
Yeah, because if it's LA Knight, it's face versus face.
Yeah. And why? What? Again, why? I'm not going to lie. I'm actually a bit disheartened about it.
Yeah.
Why?
Which is partly this is also why there's that part of me that's still holding on to those clutching at straws that maybe they make it work with Edge. Because if the final match is a case of, that was his final match, okay. And we're just thinking, okay, it was a good match, but what are they really going to do with this? Okay, Gunther got the win, didn't really need it. Okay, I guess yeah. And then, like Cena goes over. I feel like deliberately having a kind of, it was fine, but it wasn't exactly dream match as his final match, making us feel like that's all we're getting, and then they managed to do one final swerve. I'm just holding on to that hope.
It's to be honest, I genuinely, I'm looking at this in a way, so it's like, I'm actually really disheartened that there's no surprise left out. It's either going to be obviously LA Knight or Gunther, but it's pretty certain it's not going to be face versus face. It's going to be Gunther. It's good. Right, okay. Come on, let's move on because now I'm annoyed. Let's go back to Bret Hart.
That's what they want.
This is an interesting conversation. Laferde, you'll love this one if you haven't seen it. Bret Hart has got. He's on stage talking about it, wasn't he? And he's got. Bret Hart is on a bit of a. He's still very bitter, Bret Hart, about a lot of things. And he was one of the most phenomenal superstars. But as much as we thought the hatchet was buried when he came back, and he still counts with everybody, he's still very bitter about the whole Montreal screw job. Do you know that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that song. Clearly, because he has now gone on stage in front of people and claimed that the reason that Shawn Michaels was the favourite is because he was sleeping with Vince McMahon.
What, Vince was shagging Shawn? Go on.
This is what he's got on stage and said. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, with all the stuff coming out about Vince McMahon, nothing's off the table these days. But like, he's generally like, "Oh, Bret, come on, mate." I heard it. I was like, "Oh no." Like, even if that's true, you don't. You did like you.
I mean, it's not.
It's clearly bollocks, isn't it? Yeah.
It's clearly not true, and it's like now you're starting to sound like Hogan. If I'm honest, just
That sounds
making
really
up
bad,
lies to be relevant, and it's just like,
Exactly. Say what you like about Vince McMahon, and there's a lot to be said, but if there's one thing I can safely say never happened, it's that.
I might just start stirring the rumours about our roster.
you already are. Who are you going to say? Who am I? If I'm the Vincent, who am I sleeping with?
Why? Why would you ask that question?
I don't know why. It came into my head, and this ADHD took over, didn't it? It took over and made me think, yeah, who's he going to say? Now look at his face. He's generally thinking about this.
Just putting two and two together, or
It's not Parky.
it's not Parky, no.
It's definitely not Parky. Yeah. So, yeah. I just wanted to bring that up because I think that's one of the best news I've heard in ages. That Bret is like him saying that is just like, mate, stop doing chats with people because you are, to me, you are just coming across like Hogan. You're
going to ruin your own legacy by doing stuff like that.
Yeah, you're just trying to stay relevant and come up with. If it's not bullshit, it's great. It is phenomenal that he's just said it. Because it's like that Will Smith thing a couple of years ago when that guy went on the interview and was talking about him walking in and finding Will Smith leant over a table and stuff like that. And it's like, I'm sure he would have said, by now he would have come out and debunked that. Like, if he genuinely believed it. Like, come on.
I saw Bret live a couple of months back in London. He'd done the same thing, Q&A and all that, and he didn't mention nothing like that. He's fucking bitter, don't get me wrong. He's bitter, but he actually says that as his opening segment. He says, "I'm Bret Hart and I hold on to resentment." So he does make a joke out of it.
Oh,
but
right,
he didn't mention anything about, Roger and Shawn Michaels or Vince McMahon, Roger and Shawn Michaels, So
do you think they did it to each other's entrance music?
I think Vince may be the start of Shawn's entrance music now, if you think about it. Makes sense, doesn't it? Shawn sings the song as well. So, think of the visual, guys.
Clip that. That's the teaser for this episode.
What is it? Vince in his chair. You know the meme? That's such good shit.
Yeah. Do you reckon this is how he come up with his own entrance music? Everyone knew that him and Shawn were sleeping together, and someone like Triple H walked in and said, "Oh, can I have a bit of you, Vince?" And he goes, "You got no chance. That's what you got." Well, I like that.
You could have my daughter.
Well, Shawn was the only one who didn't get punished for the old curtain call.
Oh.
Just saying.
I mean, this is definitely not something you should say on a podcast, but he must know how to suck a good.
To be fair, Shawn did walk funny at some points.
He did.
He lost his smile for a bit and all, didn't he?
He did have some back problems. Bret, you're onto something.
This is Bret's revenge for the Sunny Days comment, isn't it? He's just waited 30 years to fucking do it, hasn't he? But it didn't happen, did it? I mean, I'd like to think it happened just because it's funny, isn't it? But it didn't, did it?
No, it definitely didn't happen. This is where we all joke. Excuse me, but anyone listening, we generally don't believe this is true, and we're just lads having banter. But let's bring it back in. Last subject, because it is an hour and 15, and we'll just talk about it. We've talked a lot about wrestling. We haven't talked about the wrestling company that is pretty much everywhere we see. It's the one that we run. Dan, just spend the next 5 minutes just telling us how great we are at putting on wrestling shows, and then we'll just wrap things up. All right.
Well, it's caught me off guard now. Never
No.
I mean, I've been watching wrestling 30 years now, and I am a firm believer that good wrestling is good wrestling, and you guys know how to fucking put on good wrestling. You don't have the budgets of these other indie promotions. You don't, at the moment, have the traction of some of the indie promotions, but the quality of the product you guys put on, the effort that you guys put into putting on the best show you can is fucking unmatched. And I'm not just saying that because you got me on here as a guest. I've said it on my own podcast. I said it before I even knew you properly, Ryan. Do you know what I mean? So
he did. Generally, when I first started listening, to his podcast, we'd only had a couple of conversations at that point, and I think the first episode we mentioned, second episode we mentioned, it was so yeah. It's nice, and it was a joke about you sitting here just praising us for the next 5 minutes, but it's nice to have, it's such, you're a fan of what we do. We've had all of the wrestlers on here, and you've seen it. It's nice to know that you've been to both shows.
Yeah.
I've told you, I don't even know if I've told the other guys yet, but I'm definitely going to make that. We keep having special referees. Dan deserves a chance to be a special referee down the line.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And you're right, Dan.
Watch it.
You're right, Dan, as well. We don't have the budget, and patreon.com/TalkDork podcast. But
Please.
Let's be fair, mate. I think not just a special referee, but for anyone who's not gone to the Patreon and watched the full show of Back in Time, Dan's kind of an unofficial member of the team in a lot of ways, because he was my buddy in the commentary booth when we were doing the commentary track for Back in Time. And I had a laugh doing that with you, mate. I mean...
Yeah, it was good fun, man. It was good fun.
Like I said, my favourite bit is, because I skipped to it when it's in the commentary, is the bit where I go over and kiss Dan when I come out. I wanted to see what was said then, and he's like, Super Relic just giving some love to the fans. I'm full of skipping him a bit on the hips.
We had to kayfabe everyone, didn't we? We couldn't let them know we was watching after the fact, could we?
I've just realised, you're my Shawn Michaels.
Is it because I'm cute and I'm sexy? Is that what it is?
Yeah. You wait now. You better start tuning up that band next show.
Anything to get to the top, mate.
Yeah. You can do well down there, mate. You first person. I'm telling you now.
If that fails, I'll just start an Only Dan's.
Straight up. But obviously, yeah, with the whole TDW thing, it's nice to we're starting to realise that there is a community for what we're doing, and I've set up a Discord, and a lot of the other guys have got Discords, Park, Jay, and that. We did kind of have one before, but we never used it. So I set up. I've set it up. Don't have a clue how to use it, so we're going to start putting that out there. I will now, because we'll come towards the end. That is something else we'll put down in the link below. I'll make sure that the the Discord server is up there. Start joining it, I think, because I won't know, but we start getting in there. We want people to come in. We want people to come in, talk with us, have conversations, tell us what you want us to talk about on the podcast, tell us ideas for people you want to see at TDW. Honestly, we've got Danger Zone is pretty much set in stone, bar one or two little changes here and there. The show after that we announced, which will be that one, Slam by Me. That one, if you're recording, I'll send you the poster Kurt's made. Laferde, I don't know if you've seen it, but it is sick. It is sick.
I've heard rumours.
Oh, mate, it is good. But, yeah, Slam by Me is going to be a June show. We've got people booked in for that already. Names that have never worked for us, but names that have approached us and said they would love to, and names we're very, very fucking proud of. So, touch wood, things are going to keep going well, and it's... I like to think we are sticking to what we said. We're trying to be different with the social media. We're trying to be the element of it and the I don't know if you've watched the show yet, Dan. Have you watched it back yet? Seen the full edit?
I haven't watched the full edit yet, mate. No, unfortunately.
Go on, blame the movie again. Go on.
No. It's just you know, just life, innit? You know what I mean? But one thing I'd like to add to what you've just said there as well is, for someone who you won't believe this, but for someone who's quite socially awkward, doesn't make friends easy, is that kind of person, you guys are very, very fucking approachable. And the way you are on social media, the way you are in person, the way you put your podcast across. So if there's anybody in two minds about joining that Discord or reaching out and chatting to you guys or giving suggestions, have no fear, because they are fucking good people and they're not like the majority of the online wrestling community. And I will say that from experience.
No, I appreciate that, man. That's what I knew. This hour and 20-minute talk with you would end up with something positive.
There you go. So.
No, I appreciate it, man. That's
Checks in the post.
Again, yeah. You're paying because I'm broke. I'm still recovering from back.
Patreon.com/TalkDork podcast.
Yeah. Please sign up. You can get a month free, but just don't cancel your subscription after the month, please.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it's lovely to hear that, because that's what we want. This is what this all is. Just a podcast with friends chatting crap. That, like I keep saying, we have now got our own box of wrestling toys to play with, which more than anything it's stressful, but it's so much fun, because what we've just spent an hour talking about, these storylines that we love and all that, we're getting to put them together, and we're already, like, in our heads, we're already up to like the end of next year. Well, at least Halloween, with where we're going with this, and I just want it to be. It's always like I want October to be, because I want to see all this play out now.
Yeah.
Ideas and things, and it's you saying that upsets me, because I don't trust you with what you've got planned. Because after last show, anyway,
I've got lots of things planned. Don't you worry about me.
That's what we're worried about.
And that's why, Laferde, dangerous. Have a night off, mate. Don't come all this way down. I think it would be a lot safer if you don't.
Can't do that, mate. I've already got arrangements in place.
Oh, Kurt, I need you to keep on top of him.
You guys never know where I am on the night anyway. I'm fucking all over the place.
I'd say can't rely on me. I'm in the ring for half of it.
Yeah, I'm generally doing the music and sorting lots of other stuff out. Damo.
That's where he gets us. He fucks off for after the show and does stuff.
Have to be his shadow for the next show. I think that'll make sense.
Damo can't keep up where I'm going to be.
Even Ash might be there. Tony might make a reappearance, and if we get Woody, mate, we'll have 3 or 4 of them watch it, following him around. It makes sense.
I feel like getting the Goldberg treatment, just security escort everywhere.
This is what you get when you're a VIP, Dan.
I'm impressed, mate. The Goldberg treatment. Do you get the sparklers and all that as well, or?
I get whatever I want, apparently. Well, apart from free speech, actually, a lot of things I say get censored.
And the VIP stands for very decisive prick. Do you know what? Hour and 22 minutes. This is becoming a long episode, and I hate long episodes of podcast, Dan. I really do. Made him nearly do 2 hours on his own podcast.
We'd still be talking if I didn't have the free version of Riverside. I think it might cut off after 2 hours, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Yeah. If it's like, right, we actually are going to have to wrap up because it's going to run out. It's going to kick us off in a minute. But
that's just sitting there right now, going, right, come on, 45 minutes, mate. I'm going to fucking get you.
Yeah. We can go for hours on this one, so let's not.
Yeah.
All right. I've got some Call of Duty to play, and I might still have kids up. Hopefully not. But Dan, mate, thank you. This won't be the last time you're on here, and as I've said to you before, if you need guests, these guys will gladly come talk. I mean,
appreciate it, man.
Laferde's wrestling knowledge will concern you.
I'll just make it up.
You just make it up as he goes along.
Like most of the online wrestling community, to be fair, mate.
Improvisation is good for me.
And don't forget, as I've said to you, mate, make sure you tab us. If you want any of the wrestlers, let us know. I've told them.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, and appreciate everything you've done to help me on my journey with my podcast and socials, because you got your own shit going on. So I do appreciate it, genuinely.
Mate,
jokes aside,
we're all doing this together. We're all doing this same thing, aren't we? We're all trying to become famous as such. We're all trying to get over. We're all trying to bring it, and as much as. It's like wrestling. When you see a bad guy and a good guy facing off with each other, they're actually there to help each other, and that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
Give everyone your socials. Where can they find you? What are you on?
I'm not telling you what I'm on live on the telly, but I've only got one social. It's TikTok, and that is The Wrestling Geezer. And I have a podcast that drops on Spotify pretty much every Friday, and that is also The Wrestling Geezer podcast.
Check it out. Make sure you do. Right, here we go with all our stuff. I'll do the tree frog. Laferde, wait, just checking.
No.
No, all right. You haven't memorised any of this stuff that we say at the end here, so it makes it easier on us.
Something about 15% off, something about a t-shirt. Kurt gives us his little speech that he was going to edit and put it on the screen every time, so we didn't have to do this. You get mad because I don't remember any of it.
Oh, yeah,
But sign up for the Patreon, guys.
Right, we'll do the tree frog grading first. If you're a car grader, you know what I'm going to say by this point. Laferde doesn't. He's been here for 2 years, but Laferde doesn't. TreeFrogGrading.com is one of the biggest UK car grading companies. Whether it's Pokemon cards, wrestling cards, any card you collect, they'll grade it. Go check them out, TreeFrogGrading.com, and use the code TWD15 for 15% off. And I've said it before, I'll keep saying it. If they've got another promo on, like buy 2 get 1 free or whatever, you can also put the 15% on top of that. Make sure you do. Kurt, run it with a Patreon.
For the third time, it is patreon.com/TalkDorkPodcast, where, yes, if you join right now, you can have that first month for free, and you can see everything that's on there, which includes the full Never Say Die show, our very first wrestling show that we put on before TDW was just a glint in our eye, but also our most recent show that we're so proud of with the Wrestling Geezer on commentary. TDW Back in Time is up there in all of its glory, so you can see that as well. And if you can say subscribe after that, it really helps us out and helps us put even better and bigger shows on and book some amazing names for those future shows as well. But we're giving you that first month for free because we love you. Also, TDW is on YouTube and Instagram as well. Just Talk Dork Wrestling if you want to see some of the highlights and backstage bits and just whet your appetite if you're not quite 100% sold on giving the Patreon a go just yet. Check us out on those channels as well, and I guarantee you'll want to join us on the Patreon after that.
Absolutely, and don't forget, if you are watching Back in Time, I keep pointing this out because I've had to tell people to go back. We are a wrestling company that bases everything on movies, right? So if you're watching a movie these days, what do? You stick around until after the credits, don't you? I would, because I've already addressed the part what happens after that. I'm not going to remind you again, but I've addressed it. Go check it out. Go watch the whole show and make sure you stick around to after. And you should watch the credits anyway, just to see who helped us out and we can thank. So make sure you do. Last promo I need to give you is that JC, our friend JC, who is desperate to come back and have a conversation on this podcast, and you will, JC, I promise you. But don't forget, he's got his own clothing range. It's called Graffiti Washed, and you can get 30% off with the code TalksWithDorks30. The link will be below. Go check it out. Go check out his clothes. They are fun. They're quirky. Some of it's controversial, and why not? Just pick it up. And you know what? I really need to go and get myself some. I keep seeing he's had some new stuff added, and I keep going, I need to get that, and I forget. So I need to do it. Next time I'm putting the episode up, I'm going to take the link and use it myself. We're at Talk Dork Podcast on everything. I'm Ryan. That's Kurt. That's Laferde. That is our very special guest. This screen could be different when I'm here. That is our very special guest, Dan, the Wrestling Geezer. Dan, thank you for joining us. Boys,
Thanks for having us.
see you later.
You're a dork.
I hate dorks. Talks with Dorks. May the power protect you.
Let's rock it!